I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92, and I'm back with another BAM reaction video. And today we will be doing the Ultra Vegito continue story that we've been doing lately. And first of all, I want to sincerely apologize to you guys for being gone for so long. Just had to wait a few situations preventing me from doing reaction videos, but now we back, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? And today, reaction video, we'll be doing a reaction video to Everybody Wants Vegito Dead.
Are you serious?
Ooh, everybody coming for that boy head. But before we get into the content today, you guys, make sure you hit that like button so that way we can trigger YouTube algorithm. That way we can be seen by a bigger audience. You feel me? Also, if you're new here, I want to sincerely thank you for coming by and enjoying content with us today. Here at Dragon Ball Art 92, we do reaction videos. Dragon Ball everything reaction videos. So if you're a Dragon Ball fan, make sure you subscribe to the channel and become a part of the Dragon Ball Art family. You dig? Now that we got all that good stuff out the way, let's get to the content.
What was that? If I could sense it even here, then it can't be good. So our story continues with a view of Ultra Vegito, still in his training realm, provided by his elder god Kranoa, his arms crossed with a stern and concerned look on his face, as the moment Avenger Goku would show his extreme Kaioken usage, the God Killer would become all too aware. As with his curiosity now well and truly piqued, Vegito would think to himself, this energy signature, I know it. It's familiar, but it's nothing like what I sensed in Hera's or Castiel's team. No, this feels like an energy from my past, stretched far beyond what it should be. And in an instant too. I have to know what this is. It can't be a transformation.
And with that said, Vegito would be quick to then place 2 fingers on his forehead. A final thought of,
whoever this is, he's going to be a big problem, isn't he?
Before then,
obviously, Goku Super Saiyan 6 Kaioken times 5,000 is pretty much catching up to Vegito's power level. So Vegito seemed like he a little bit nervous. He needs to figure it out, bro. But he better, because everybody really wants this boy dead. You know what I mean? And it's quite interesting because I feel like they probably want that because they fear his talent, you know. But let's get back into it.
Ultimately vanishing in instant transmission. And when he'd arrive tactically. Not just next to any elder god, but next to a feminine one with long white hair. In the middle of a stage in front of him, the roaring red aura of Goku. And of course, when revealed to be Kranoa, the goddess of time would comment, Mr. Vegito, what do I owe the pleasure of seeing you here? Care to disobey me any further? Or perhaps something, or someone, has caught your eye. As while Vegito would just mutter,
hold on, is that
Kranoa with a close-up would continue. Yes, keep your eyes peeled and look closely. Would you believe? He says he's a Saiyan like you. As watching on as the stage would be still set alight, the Avenger Goku's Kaioken aura would rage on. The oblivious Vegito, just commenting with his arms folded. A Saiyan? But what is that aura? It looks like Kaioken. Is that Kakarot?
That right there blew his mind because he never figured that one Saiyan, one Kakarot, not a fusion, would catch up to his power level. But see,
wait a minute.
This Goku actually has history with Vegito, and bruh's that he want his revenge, and he was willing to do whatever it took to get that revenge, even having an elder god train him outside of his elder god that created him. But let's get back into it.
Which a smart Cronoa would respond. I'm surprised you don't know for sure. That you don't even recognize him? He seems to know you quite well. In fact, he says he met you. And by no surprise, he wants to kill you too. Seems I'm not the only person you've been naughty with. Who the hell? As the God Killer, now left with more questions than answers, would rack his brain, trying to think who this powerful Goku could possibly be. But as Vegito would be thinking, Avenger Goku's mass self-destroying power-up would continue on, his Kaioken aura only getting redder by the minute as his own blood would begin seeping into it, his muscles bulging heavily as veins would ventriculate all around them, and his face now as his yell would reach realms even far beyond. And though Vegito would be watching, the main...
I ain't gonna lie though, bro. The red aura kind of reminds me of Super Saiyan God in a sense, but it's pretty dope how far he's pushing this Kaioken. And it kind of shows you like, damn, what type of training that this boy went through to be able to push himself that far. You know what I mean? Because usually the Kaioken tears your body up, bruh. So it's like, really? You know what I mean? Did you get some special gift or something from the older guys? Did they tap you with some power or something? Because it's like, it's amazing, bro. Like, he ain't even got boo abilities or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's like, how is he doing this? Good question, though.
Spectator would of course be his icy foe, Avalar himself, watching as the flames of this mysterious Goku would continue and spread everywhere. Get ready! As Goku, now planting himself down, would stop the yelling and engage himself in a classic fighting stance. The bemused Avalar, reflecting all kinds of orange from the prevalent flames, would be left commenting, "Get ready for what exactly? It's unbelievable your power has surged like this. You remind me in some ways of Zeus himself. But all of this is pointless. You must know that."
So shut up, bitch!
But as he would say this, the roaring flames would begin to briefly attack him, forcing him to cover his face. But it would only be brief, as the rest of the flames would then cover him. A smirk appearing on the icy hand saying, "You see, these flames of yours seem to be intensified by your power-up also. But just as usual, they still cannot melt nor affect me. The ice created by the water vapor all around us, once crystallized, is strengthened by my own energy. Not only am I in constant repair, but I am unmeltable as a result. Pointless, as I told you."
He thought he had Goku figured out right here.
How?
And with him being a water being, you can understand why he went in that direction of thinking the way he's thinking. He's thinking that Goku was about to try to melt him or something and get rid of him that way. But I'm kind of curious on which route Goku's about to take right now, because he is throwing flames all over the stage right now. And you know that it's a tactic. But let's figure it out.
But perhaps a demonstration of this would be more fitting here. Something visual, something physical, to help you understand with that Neanderthal brain of yours. As immediately now lifting up 2 fingers up, like you were about to pull off a napper, cracks would now increase and start running under Goku. But this time, it wouldn't appear to be because of his Kaioken power. As in a flash, exploding from the ground, Avenger Goku would be lost sight of, as him, along with what looks like the rest of the stage, would be utterly berated and encompassed with a massive ice structure. Far more than just a mountain. This was a wall of ice. A moment of peace, finally, from your screaming and silly aura fluxing. As pleased with himself, Avalar would then continue, See, boy, as much fire as you want to create, it doesn't stop my ice. No melting, no nothing. I am forever, while your energy is finite. But while Avalar would be monologuing away, the faint sounds of crackling would be heard. From the giant at the bottom, cracks.
I kind of figured that Goku was going to break out of that little ice wall, bro. You know, it's kind of too obvious to pinpoint that. You know what I mean?
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
But I do want to know how this fight go in, because the Iceman over here is pulling up some abilities. Like, your flames ain't doing nothing, bro. It ain't going to do nothing to me. You feel me? So I definitely want to see how Goku go conquer this situation. Or is he? Let's get back to it.
Would begin to appear, before they would then increase, running further and deeper. Soon, much to Avalar's surprise, spreading all across the wall, the gaps between the cracks now becoming simply cavernous until... What? Instantly, the workmanship of Avalar would be disposed of like it were nothing. The entire ice wall shattered, as it would explode from the bottom up immediately into a barrage of icy dust, as oxymoronically, blasts of Avenger Goku's fire would continue to burst out and set ablaze the stage. You did that! As walking at a deliberately slow pace out, surrounded in his blood-red aura, Avenger Goku would emerge, coming out like absolutely nothing could stop his charge forward. As with a close-up on his face, the gritted teeth and groans would confirm he was in serious pain, but that he'd still just keep going. Eventually saying as he would continue to move, You're right, your ice may not melt, but it definitely breaks.
You know what's crazy? That Kaioken is really putting a lot of strain on that boy body, bro. And he putting himself through the flux right now just to win this fight.
Bruh.
You know, I wonder if he's gonna have more in the tank to have energy to fight in any of the other rounds. You know what I mean? Echo Bell really trained the boy, but I wonder if he trained him right so that way he can survive through the whole tournament, not just one round. But let's see.
And I'll say this one more time. This This fire isn't for you, but you'll learn soon enough what it is here for. Just focus on your last sight, Avalar. Your last sight will be this technique I mastered after 10,000 years.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
One only made possible with the help of Lord Akobel. Remember its name well. Kaioken times 10,000!
Okay, so I was wrong. It's not Kaioken 5,000. It's Kaioken times 10,000.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.
Bro, that's insane, bro. That he can push the Kaioken that far, bro. You know what I mean? Without him breaking, bro, because there's so much strain on that body. How much can his body actually take, bro? That's a lot of training, bro. Let's get back to it, though.
Kaioken times what? This immediately piquing Vegito's curiosity. A former user of Kaioken that had pushed it to 2,000 times before, but for significant consequences. As he would comment, that can't be right. 10,000? He's either made of steel or this is suicide. Not even a boo body like mine could recover fast from just 2,000.
That's what I was saying, bro. Like, how in the is this boy actually pushing himself to go that far without killing himself? You know what I'm saying? We definitely go see how.
What did Akobel do to this Kakarot? But as this mystery would continue to linger over this 10,000-year-old Elder God-trained Goku, Avenger Goku would continue his power-up, screaming even louder as his signature fire would wrap all around him, as if protecting him in some way. You mortals are so simple-minded, aren't you? Look closer, God Killer. As Cronoa, seeming to know exactly what was going on, would urge the God Killer to look better, as she would continue. That boy over there is different to you. He's clever. Very clever. That fire around him is no ordinary flame. It was created by him, and for a reason. That fire! Just confusing Vegito more, however, as he would not be any closer to understanding how this Goku was even doing this. But there wouldn't exactly be much time to think, when in that very moment, Kaioken times 10,000 Goku would finally make his move, exploding off the line in a truly horrific speed, leaving circular trails of sound barriers all being broken as he would move faster and faster. Water! Only a nanosecond later, reducing the gap between the two fighters to now mere inches, as pulling his right fist back with extreme force, Avenger Goku would be coming at Avalar like no fighter had come ever before. His screams itself enough to cause damage, as a stunned deer caught in the headlights, Avalar would have no time to say a thing. Goku, now looking like a true monster, neither human nor god, as his fist would then extend and instantly ignite into flames, unclear from just the speed of his movement or from his own abilities.
I ain't gonna lie, Goku look crazy as right now, boy. He looks psychotic. Like he's just ready to take bodies. Body after body after body.
Pow!
Boy, he about to put a hole through bro or something. at least knock off half his body or something, bro. Because this is insane.
It's over! As with a beastly final look, his teeth would grit, and the punch to end all punches would fire forward. The final scene for Avalar, more than likely, before ultimate defeat. As finally, Goku would connect and straight into Avalar's torso, bringing him immediately down in a takedown with just his fist alone and straight into the ground. The once near unbreakable stage that was proven wrong so many times, but this time more than any before. As with truly a nuclear explosion of fire and brimstone, the impact Avenger Goku would make with Avalar's body would cover the entire stage and be forced into the stands themselves. In the end, nothing but smoke would be left seen. Smoke and the still raging flames of Avenger Goku, suffocating in the carbon monoxide, but still somehow blaring loudly. As now a lone trail of Kaioken red energy would fade into the sky like it had been all used up. At the apex of it, a crater of dirt that had removed every single tile of the Elder God tournament stage. No bodies seen from the height of this view until... What have you done? My body, it won't heal.
He took his whole body and left his head, bro.
Damn!
Yeah, now his body can't heal, obviously, because the fire is burning up the water vapors that's in the air. You know what I mean? It rises. So it's over with, bro. That was smart. Very genius of Goku right there. Let's get back to it, bro.
As on the dirt amongst the flames, a single lone head of Avalar would be seen with no body intact. Just his skull, as with a slow and slurred speech, it would seem he already was trying to heal, but something was off. As nearby, deep breaths on the verge of death, not just exhaustion, would be heard, as a long black-haired figure would be standing. I did it! Just like I told you! As unbelievably, Avenger Goku would still be here! Still a Super Saiyan 6, but with no more Kaioken, trembling like...
Bro, did he burn his arm off? He gonna heal from that, bro.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
He looked toe up, bro. There's no way he gonna heal from that unless he got some secret ability or something, but let's see.
Like even standing was too difficult, like every bone and cell in his body was now damaged. He would no longer even have hands, as both would explode from the impact and ensuing explosion, maimed ultimately by his own attack.
And with sheer pain still on his face, through it all, Goku would find the last bits of energy to add. I already told you, this fire was never meant to melt you. This fire was for what's around you, what keeps on healing you. That water vapor in the air all around us you kept mentioning. Newsflash, hot air rises, Avalar, and that includes water vapor. I burnt this stage up, making you think it was part of my power-up. knowing once I landed this final blow, nothing would be able to reach your body in this heat to recrystallize. Every time it comes close, my flames create enough heat to get rid of it. Check the surface of your body. You said it's not like the ice, I know. Well, I agree, because you're burning up at a temperature way higher than water vapor can attach to. All within this burning pit I've created. Even this crater was for this one purpose.
Show you how smart Goku can be when it comes to a fight. You feel me? Especially when his back is against the wall and the opponent has the upper hand on him. He'll find a way to find your weakness to be able to beat you. You know what I mean? Right there on the spot, though. Man, that's talent, bro. That's real talent. Without him having to sit down and really think about it, he can just come up with it like, bam, and just hit him. You know, and that's from doing it for so long, bro. When you in that type of environment and you always fighting, you'll start picking up on things way faster than a normal person would. Let's get back to it.
Yes. You planned all of this? This far? Stunning Avalar in this moment, with the sheer thought and several steps ahead put into this plan. All from a Goku of all people, as Avalar would continue questioning. All this just to win, but you've destroyed your body, lost your arms. You wasted everything on me. For what? Isn't there someone you said you had to kill? Why didn't you just give up? But it would only be at this moment that Goku would show some vigor, smirking with only one eye able to open as he would respond, well, that's the thing. That wasn't the only reason I needed these flames all over. I told you from the start how fate made me the perfect match for you. The perfect match because we're more similar than you know. As instantly after those mysterious words, like he just assaulted himself, Goku's face would be overcome with his own flames. As screaming as if he indeed was in pain, almost all of the flames surrounding Goku and encompassing the barren ground would all swirl and group up, returning to the Saiyan, positively setting him alight, as now only a man made of fire would be visible, not a single inch of him uncovered. What are you doing? Leaving the weakened lone head of Avalar just in confusion at this magnanimous sight as eventually good as new.
Bruh. Yeah, Aquabell did something different. Must have changed his DNA or something, bruh, for Goku to be able to become a man made of fire. You know what I mean? It kind of reminded me of the Fantastic Four, Flames.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But that's insane, bro. Then he healed himself from the fire. That was a very, very good counter to an ice water guy. You know what I'm saying? That was made of H2O, as he said. Good fight, bro. That was definitely a good fight. Let's get back to it.
Don't ever forget, Aquabell is Zeus's son. As unbelievably in the most unexpected of sights, Avenger Goku would then appear back at full hell, his two fists clenched, as both of his arms would be returned to him. The flames gone, only a healthy, full power, full health Avenger left behind.
I feared this would happen.
As watching closely, Zeus's eyes would widen, seeming like Goku doing this was prophetic, as he would comment,
Aquabell has taken my blueprints to the extreme. Not only has he altered his fighter to resemble my king, but it seems to be a version of Avalar too.
As Goku looking down calmly, with a normal voice would let out, if it wasn't clear to you already, like Zeus made you the embodiment of water, Lord Akko Bell did the same for me. But for fire.
I figured that. I pretty much figured that. You know, the boy got his DNA changed. You know what I mean? So now, basically, his base is fire. Interesting. He gonna be a hard beat. You know what I mean? They gonna have a hard time beating him in the tournament. Let's get back to it.
There may not be fire all around in the air, but I can create it and make it to be around me. Fire around me will always heal me. In the end, it was actually everything you did, Avalar, that was pointless. What? That's how he survived the Kaioken? This explanation stunning the God Killer. Never in his wildest dreams did he think Kakarot of all people would possess such a divine ability. An ability that would cause a huge problem in the future. But as Vegito would ponder, Goku would now begin walking up to the lone head on the floor of this still impossibly hot crater, a man-made furnace. As now extending his right hand out, the Avenger would be little on words, aiming straight at Avalar in his Super Saiyan 6 state until... die! Until just like that, Goku would end everything, unleashing a final blast on this weakened Avalar. The aftermath being nothing left, not a trace of this embodiment of water for any to be seen.
Avalar defeated! Akko Bell really won!
This sight affecting Zeus immediately, regardless of knowing what Goku was capable of. Now seeing his second fighter be gone forever after King, it would hit the old man hard. I did tell you, father. You don't know me at all.
And Akko Bell is really excited because you know if he lose, bro, he's it's over with for bro.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So he excited, you know what I mean? Because he definitely want to take over Zeus's position, you know. So this was a good battle, but it ain't over yet, man. It was a 3 versus 3, 3v3. And let's get back to it.
But taking it well would of course be Akko Bell, grinning away and giggling as he would then take the opportunity to... This first match is over. The winner is me. As doing Zeus's job for him, Akko Bell would emulate Zeus mockingly and slam his hand right down, announcing the end of the match.
Akko Bell.
A disapproving look from Zeus as he would then stare across the stage towards his archangel son. Until finally, Zeus would seemingly concede, closing his eyes as he would comment,
It is as my son says. Congratulations, Son Goku. You may leave now. The match is over. Elder God Akko Bell wins for now. The second match of this 3v3 will begin once the stage is repaired once more.
and with that, Goku would then just return to base commenting, about time. Before then, simply, he would just vanish from the stage, following Zeus's orders. Reappearing now calmly with his back to us, not really saying anything, until he would slowly turn and say, You enjoy the little show? I had a feeling you'd turn up. take it all in because you're going to be next. As shockingly in the next panel, with no fear, Avenger Goku would reveal he had reared right behind and right next to Vegito, the God Killer, stunned momentarily by his sudden and speedy appearance. But not backing down, Vegito in turn would then turn his head and confront Goku asking, I'm next. Funny, you're not the first nor the last to threaten me. Just who are you, though? What is your problem with me, Kakarot? As Goku, now turning around, would then check him saying, you don't even remember the people you harmed, do you? I wouldn't expect any less from the likes of you. It's a surprise every time I think about a version of me existing in you. If only I could meet him to talk some sense into him. Maybe one day I'll free him, just like I'll free my son Gohan back, and all the rest of my friends. You remember them, right? The ones you absorbed during the Cell games.
Yeah, bro. You know he ain't gonna forget that, bro, because he was the only one that got away in that little scenario.
How?
That's when Vegito was fighting Lucid, and he was traveling through different timelines, taking Lucid with him. He was dragging Lucid through timelines, beating the brakes off him.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
And then he was also getting the brakes beat off him, so it was kind of an even battle through that time. But that's what Goku's really talking about right now, and he's pissed, bro. He like, nah, you ain't getting away with this, Vegito. Man, if them two fight, it's gonna be one good fight, bro. I tell you that much.
The Cell games? Gohan. So you're that Kakarot, the one who escaped.
As finally things would click for the God Killer, a brainwave of memories rushing to him as he would remember the exact moment he traveled to the past and what he did there. And Goku, realizing this, would bend down and get closer, letting out finally, remember now, huh? Good. Remember this too. Your days are numbered, Vegito. You may have killed Earthlings, gods, demons, and more, but Lord Echo Bell made me different to them all. You think you're safe. You think you're the main character of your story, Vegito. But don't forget, I'm the main character of mine. And instantly, with that cold final line said, Avenger Goku would vanish away to leave the God Killer to stir on his thoughts. Oh no! You better train hard.
And Cronola, bro, she just dwelling into it because Vegito been disrespecting her the whole time, bro.
Bruh.
So she like, yeah, say something out of line, bro. Your days are numbered. Let's get back to it, bro.
Odd God Killer, it seems you have a new problem. Better win this tournament like I asked. I fear this Goku will make your death rather painful. These final angered and annoyed states, his mind flooded with thought another life killer would enter the fray and be yet another obstacle in front.
Not bad. Not bad at all, kid.
But talking of obstacles, biggest obstacle of them all would then be returned to, as Gogeta would stare forward after landing his kick on Ronin in a previous chapter. But this attack would only be the start, as to Ronin's surprise, Gogeta would begin moving his right leg now and... Gogito would swipe it right at the young warrior, aiming to break his defense, but with impressive reflexes, Ronin would just about be able to swerve backwards.
You filthy Saiyans are all the same! You only know how to fight! No love at all! How barbaric!
As stumbling back, Ronin would become annoyed and would begin slowly bringing his guarding arms down until... generating a powerful ball of energy in his right hand, and with the short distance between them, he would have Gogito right in his sights for a surefire landing. Firing it instantly, seemingly catching Gogito's entire body within the blast radius.
Slow!
But Gogito in response would widen his eye, revealing his black seraphim as... Immediately, Gogito would split in two, as dual black clones would come out instead. Making a quick and simultaneous movement forward together. Rushing at high speed now on either side of Ronin's blast.
Bro, Gogito is just a menace, bro. He's just hard to beat, bro. And I'm kind of curious on how he got them black seraphim eyes, bro. Like, what type of torture or training did he go through to even get to this stage of power, bro? Because he's just treating all these fighters like they children, bro. Like, he's just dogging them, bro. Let's get back to it.
As in devastating fashion, both clones would then land punches, each on Ronin's cheek, mushing the boy's face together, as his gritted teeth would show both his pain, but also his immense anger. Sent hurtling backwards, now with a groan in pain, but before he could go too far, both black Gogitos would move in close, their right and left legs pulled simultaneously back like slingshots before... A second vicious double strike with a smashing 2 feet straight on his guard, concaving his stance immediately. This time sending Ronin flying back uncontrollably much further. But eventually he would land by his hands and knees in the distance. The two clones, meanwhile, suddenly moving back together as if performing fusion.
You're no challenge at all, kid.
Until ultimately reverting back to the original Gogito, unimpressed with his so-called son. But it wouldn't be long before, when looking down, Gogito would notice a cracked building in the ground. Until suddenly, a certain black-speared tail would burst out with viper-like speed. Easily dodged, however, as Gogito would simply move his right leg up.
Get lost!
Disrespectfully then kicking it away like it were nothing.
Hakai!
As with the calmest of demeanors, Gogito would showcase for the first time his destruction powers, instantly erasing the tail as it would shift to dust.
What now?
But with a bird's eye view, suddenly a shining light would come over Gogito. He would notice this immediately. Looking up, however, with that same unbothered look, as his face would begin being lost in the light.
Pitiful Ronin.
As right above Gogito, despite his unimpressed words, he would be trapped as a rain of giant yellow energy balls would already be on their way, dropping like bombs all over him. these energy balls inevitably hitting their target as expected, creating.
Ryan is pretty strong, bro. You know what I mean? And he has some good techniques, even though, Gogito is like way stronger than him. He's actually showing some good tactic moves that can actually get anybody else in the tournament, bro. Hera's team is gonna be a problem, bro.
A giant explosion covering Gogito immediately. You're almost as pompous as my real father. You'll make good practice. Leaving Ronin with a satisfied grin, but not for long. What? As only moments later, in classic fashion, Ronin would know nothing would be this easy. As a black patch would soon become visible among the smoke. As when the smoke would depart, what looks like a black cylinder would be seen. Far too weak. Not sure I even needed the black seraphim shield for that. But at this point, you're not worth the effort of blocking. As emerging from it would of course be a folded-armed Gogito. What? Do you know who you're talking to? These comments infuriating the easily triggered Rod as he would grit his teeth and his eyes would glow brighter. No, I don't know who I'm talking to, but I'll find out now. This attack will tell me whether you're a weakling or not. Get ready. As suddenly standing in fighting stance, a very Gogeta stance in fact, Gogito would ready himself until... Stop! A hand would come and tap him on the shoulder. You! Act more happy when you see me, brat. As behind Gogito would be revealed to be Hera. But Gogito would instantly ask, what is it you want? I'm busy here, training as you asked me to. But with a curious smile, Hera would respond, that's enough training for now. Right now I need both of you for a certain retrieval mission. I've stood by and watched for too long my own creations being poached by these pathetic other elder gods. You two are going to get at least one of them back for me. One who interests me and will be just the right addition to us. These words confusing Ronin, understandably, until we would then finally see just who Hera was talking about, as the next panel would be of Avenger Goku.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If they got Avenger Goku on their team, bro, they gonna be really, really hard to stop. I wonder how Ultra Vegito gonna actually respond to this, or even Omni Vegito for that matter. But Castiel want his fighters dead. So this is turning out to be one hell of a tournament, I can tell you that. But yeah, man, it's turning out to be very, very interesting, if you ask me. But that's it for the video today, you guys. Man, that was a good one, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really enjoyed that episode, and I'm glad to be back, man. One thing you got to learn how to do is bounce back when things, knock you down. You know what I mean? And that's what I've been doing most of my life. So, the hustle ain't gonna stop. The work ain't gonna stop. The content ain't gonna stop. You dig what I'm saying? So I want to thank you guys for coming by and enjoying content with us today. And make sure, man, you always put yourself first. Because in life, bro, people are so consumed with their own reality. You have to make sure that you think about yourself, all right? Logan, believe in yourself. Because ain't else gonna do it. Dragon Ball 92. I'm out, y'all. Deuces.
I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend cheerful, and I know exactly what I'm here for. I'm too positive to be doubtful, too optimistic to be fearful. So all my time I spend